All right, let's dive right in. We're going on a journey through the creative universe of writer Robert Walker. And what a universe it is! We're talking about a place where the vastness of the cosmos is just as important as, say, a kitchen kettle that's having a really, really bad day. It's a fascinating journey, so let's get into it. And this quote, this right here is the key to everything. He says his stories were written in two places, under the open air and beneath the weight of night. Think about that. It just perfectly sets up this amazing duality in his work, right? The space between the light and the dark, the super serious and the totally absurd. That tension, that's where all the magic happens.
Okay, so first up, let's explore that first world he mentioned, the one written beneath the weight of night. This is the deep stuff. This is where Walker takes these huge, universal human feelings, feeling trapped, trying to figure out who you are, wrestling with your own memories, and just dives into them with this incredible poetic depth. A perfect example is his poem, When the Rhyme Breaks. He uses the very structure of poetry as this amazing metaphor for the rules and constraints in our own lives. He describes rhyme as a scaffold, right? Made of strict, unbending steel. It's this rigid frame we build to keep everything neat and tidy. But what happens when real life, that pressure reel, starts to build? Well, the whole thing breaks. It's such a powerful way to talk about that constant battle between order and freedom, isn't it? And this idea of breaking free, it gets even more direct in another piece called Breaking the Frame. Just listen to this line. Repetition is a coffin, and I will not be your mask. Wow. I mean, he's basically saying that conformity, just doing what's expected of you over and over, is like a living death. His characters are always in that fight, trying to find their own voice and refusing to just be a mask for somebody else. And this idea just keeps getting bigger and bigger. As we're exploring our inner selves, Walker connects us to the entire universe. This line from Archives of Fire is just beautiful. It's not just pretty words, it's a reminder that we are, quite literally, made of stardust. So the takeaway here is that our personal struggles, yeah, they're cosmic ones too. Okay, take a deep breath because we are about to make a hard pivot. We're leaving all that weight of night behind and stepping into the other world he talked about, the one written under the open air. And this world is just wonderfully, joyfully, and brilliantly absurd. So get ready for a little tour of Walker's imagination. First up, we've got a story about a sulking kettle. Yep, a shiny chrome appliance that just refuses to boil water because it's in a bad mood and apparently needs to be consoled. It's the perfect way to find a huge personality in the most everyday object. Okay, and from the kitchen, we go straight to the graveyard, and that's where we meet Gary. Now, Gary's a zombie, but he's not looking for brains. Nope. Gary smashes through a family's window, terrifies everyone, and then just grabs a slice of pepperoni pizza off the counter before shuffling back out into the night. It's just a fantastic twist on a classic horror monster. And, why not? Let's throw in a school bus that also happens to be a giant bumblebee. It's called the Bumble Bus, it's yellow and black, and it literally buzzes down the lane to pick up a kid who missed his regular ride. It's just pure, delightful fun. This little limerick, it just perfectly captures this whole other side of his writing. Remember that strict, unbending steel of rhyme we were talking about just a minute ago? Well, here he is totally poking fun at the whole idea. This kind of self-aware humor shows you the incredible creative range he has. He can build up all these serious rules just so we can have fun knocking them all down again. So now, let's look at the place where these two worlds, the really profound stuff and the super playful stuff, smash into each other. And that's in his speculative fiction. This is where Walker takes some kind of strange what-if question and just follows it all the way to its logical and, well, often pretty unsettling conclusion. I mean, just think about this concept from his story, Memory Rent. Imagine a world where your most precious memories aren't really yours at all. They're products that you lease. So to remember your wedding day or your first dog, you have to pay an annual fee. And if you don't, well, the memory gets repossessed. And this table here makes that whole abstract idea terrifyingly real. Just look at these costs. Over £800 to keep your wedding memory? There's an overdue notice for remembering your dog. And look at the bottom. The memory of a first kiss has been canceled. It's such a chilling critique of our society, all disguised as this sci-fi idea. So this, of course, leads to a really powerful question for you. If you had to choose, if your own identity was basically a subscription service, What parts of yourself would you fight to keep? And which ones would you be forced to just let go? It's a genuinely thought-provoking and kind of scary dilemma.
And his imagination for these weird futures doesn't stop there. Get this. In one world, robots take over the planet, not with weapons, but with mind-numbing, polite small talk. And in another, you have to pay the government for every single word you speak. Both are completely absurd, but they also have some pretty sharp things to say about our own world.
So, we've got cosmic poetry, we have sulking kettles, and we have memories you have to pay rent on. What in the world is the one thread that ties all of this completely different stuff together? Well, it all comes down to a relentless, profound curiosity about perspective. It's a search for the hidden life in absolutely everything.
This is it. This is the common thread. Whether he's giving a voice to a moody kettle, or imagining old, crumpled-up poems climbing out of the trash can, or even seeing the world through the eyes of a tortoise, Walker is always looking for the story that isn't being told. He even gives a haunted house a voice through its 5-star Airbnb reviews.
So, when you get right down to it, the takeaway from Robert Walker's work isn't just about enjoying his strange and beautiful stories. It's really an invitation. It's inviting us to use that same kind of lens on our own lives, to find the hidden poetry, the absurd humor, and the extraordinary magic that's all around us. And that really just leaves us with one final thought, something inspired by his work. If our skin really does sing hydrogen, and if a kettle can have a bad day, and if even crumpled up paper has a story to tell, well then everything is alive with meaning. The only question left is, what are you listening to?